Hey there, everybody. We got ourselves a little something for you today. Nate Moore, who is producer at Marvel Studios, has come out and said that being a huge comic fan is actually a red flag when hiring MCU writers. So it's starting to make sense why some of these shows and some of these movies are not up to spec, I guess you could say. And we're going to go straight down here to his quote. This is from Nate Moore, producer at Marvel. For me, one thing I think is interesting about Marvel's process, and specifically for writers, I would say a lot of times we're pitched writers who love Marvel. That makes a lot of sense that you would hire someone to write a Marvel movie, someone who loves the source material and wants to be true to the source material and not make a bunch of changes to the source material. But let's go on. And to me, that's always a red flag because I go, oh, I don't want you to already have a pre existing idea of what it is because you grew up with issue 15 and that's what you want to recreate. I want somebody who's hard on the material, who goes, what is this? I think there's a movie here, but maybe we should be looking at it this way. This way being, let's race swap this character, or let's gender swap this character, or let's make this character homosexual, or let's do this to this character, let's add a third arm to this character, let's, give this character they, them pronouns. And that this perfectly sums up what the problem with Marvel has been here recently. And I think, again, the best example of that for me was Marcus and McFeely, who weren't comic guys coming up, but were like, wait, Captain America, this seems a bit weird. What if we kind of looked at it this way? And they weren't married to anything. Nothing was, there was nothing sacrosanct. And I think that's important to be able to go, look, the source material is great and I love it, and comics work great in the medium they were built in, but that's not a direct one-to-one translation to the best version of the movie. They let's just finish. And sometimes it takes someone who's out of this culture to go, "Hey, I know you think it should be this, but maybe it should be this other thing." Well, I don't think so. People have been hating the recent Marvel movies. They've been hating the recent Disney Plus Marvel shows. So obviously, you should start hiring people that know a bit more and want to be more faithful to the source material. Now they go on and they don't mention any of the newer franchises. They go on to mention Chris Hemsworth's Thor and uh, Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man and Tony Stark. But that's not the problem. It's not Iron Man and Thor. Thor is basically nearly out of the MCU at this point. And Iron Man, Tony Stark, is dead and gone. And you've replaced him with a 98-pound black girl who just don't get me started on Ironheart. The comic book didn't work. Fans didn't buy it. They rejected it. So Marvel has decided to make her a show and a hero to replace Tony Stark, one of the most favorite Marvel characters of all time. The one that started, I mean, arguably you could say that the Incredible Hulk started it, but that movie, no one really cared or knew about it back then. They tried to use it to start the MCU, and if you were to go into the MCU timeline, I guess that would be first. But Iron Man, 2009's Iron Man, was definitely the catalyst that began the MCU. So you can't argue that they did something to Iron Man, Tony Stark. That was all Robert Downey Jr. and his take on that character, and people loved it. People just loved it. I loved it. That one of my favorite MCU movies, the very first Iron Man. And now we're seeing the reason why these latest MCU projects have been shit. They've just been shit. They hire writers that don't know anything about the source material, and they come in with their own ideas about the source material, and they change a bunch of characters from the source material, and it ruins everything. And it people that are like me, that are fans, and people that are even more diehard fans than I am, are expecting one thing, and it they get something else that completely ruins the character. And now it makes perfect sense as to why. If you like this video, please don't forget to like and share it out there to all your friends. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so and ring the bell for notifications. And I will see you next time.